everybody, welcome to Wild Boy Movies, the place to talk movies. And today, we're going to be reviewing Season 1 of Hazbin Hotel. Right now, I'm going to have some information up on screen for you to read, like network, how many episodes there are, rating. All of that will be up on screen for you to read right now. And before we get into this video, I want to give a shout out to Yumi, who made this awesome angel dust animation and who also makes some very solid animation memes. I will leave a link to her channel down in the description so you can head on over there and check out her content, because trust me, it's actually pretty good stuff. But be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your thoughts on this first season of Hazbin Hotel. But without further ado, let's get right into the pros. Starting off, I gotta go ahead and praise the story and world building of the show, because this show is essentially about Charlie and her friends starting up like a hotel to redeem sinners, to prevent them from the extermination done by heaven and the angels. And I thought that the story that went down in this series was handled so well throughout the course of 8 episodes. And I even thought that the world building that they done in the show was also very interesting, like the things that they set up for these next 3 seasons, because we are confirmed to not only be getting season 2, but also seasons 3 and 4. There are a lot of things that I definitely want to be explored about the pentagram in this Hazbin Hotel universe. Next up, I gotta go ahead and praise the cast of characters that we have in this series, because there are a whole bunch of great and awesome characters in this series. Starting off with Charlie, who is the main character of the show. I like how she's basically this who just wants to help her people from extermination from the angels. I really like what they did with her character in the show. Vaggie was also a great supporting character in the show, and I also liked her relationship with Charlie. Plus, not to mention, the twist involved with her character was actually a pretty cool idea for the show, even though I was sadly spoiled by the twist before even watching the show. Angel Dust, who is this adult film star, who yes, does make sex jokes in the show, but deep down he is also a very sensitive character, who by the end of the season cares for the residents of the hotel. Husk is just this very cool character in the show, where he's essentially the bartender for the hotel, but has some great interactions with the characters of the hotel. Serpentious, I'm gonna admit, is actually a top 5 favorite character of the show after watching the series. I mean, he initially goes to the hotel and work with the V's to try to get rid of Alistair, but eventually stays there looking for redemption. Lucifer was also a very cool character in the show, not only to his character design, but also had a great father-daughter dynamic with Charlie. I don't even know what to say about Nifty, other than that she's a very insane character. But honestly, the best character of the show has to be Alistair, because not only is this character design very awesome, but it's also the characteristics of Alistair that make him so awesome. Like how his voice is essentially like it's coming from an old radio. And also his mysterious backstory that I'm very interested in seeing being explored. But even though we had all of those amazing and awesome characters, there were really only 2 characters that I did not like in this series. Starting off with the character of Adam, who is just this arrogant angel who has the audacity to do the things that he does in the show. And then Valentino is just the worst character out of the entire show. And the stuff that he does to Angel Dust in the show just makes me want to see him have an encounter with Art the Clown. Alright, the next pro I can give the show is the animation, because man, is it the best animation that we've seen out of a TV show. And even though this show is being made by Prime Video and A24, I love how they stuck with Vivzy Pop's art style that we saw in her YouTube channel. It's more with a higher budget than the animation that we've seen in like the Hazbin Hotel pilot. Okay, next up, I gotta go ahead and praise the humor in this show, because While the show does have a TVMA rating, which means that there are gonna be some adult jokes in there, I found a lot of the jokes in here to be rather funny. Like, some of the jokes that Angel Dust makes were actually kind of funny just because of how he delivers those jokes. Even aside from those, there are also a lot of other funny moments in the show that I found to be absolutely hilarious. And speaking of the TVMA rating, I love how they took advantage of that TVMA rating, because if this show would have ended up on cable, it probably would have been toned down a little bit. But since this is on a streaming service, particularly Prime Video, they can go all out since there's no cable restrictions for what content can be on like a cable network. Like, episode 4 really pushed the boundaries of content in adult animation. I also gotta praise the soundtrack in this series because, oh man, those songs are absolute bangers. Like, they did not have to go as hard as they did. Like, to me, they are on the same par as like the songs from My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and that they are so good that I will play them whenever I have the chance, whether that be on a car ride or doing like household chores. Like, those songs from Hazbin Hotel go absolutely hard. And in fact, some of these songs have made it onto my top 10 favorite songs of 2024 list. And if you want to know my ranking of all 16 songs from season 1, I will throw that up on screen for you to take a look at right now. And lastly, the scale of the show, because this to me is like a big overarching plot of the series. So you could probably tie this in back to with my pro of the story. I love how like the stakes of the show were so high because they took the time to invest into the characters and make us interested in them. I am not kidding when I say this, but if I were able to rent out a movie theater and watch anything on that theater, it would be the first season of Hazbin Hotel, because quite frankly, there are some moments in this show that make me feel like this would be something that I would watch in theaters, because it just looks so cool and awesome. Like, to me, it kind of be like an unrealistic bucket list item, like going to HarmonyCon or even going to Kentucky to see the bear who did drugs. So yeah, overall, I absolutely love this show, and I cannot wait to see where they go with these next 3 seasons, because I was invested all throughout the series, and I cannot wait to see where they go with the story next, especially with some of the things that they set up, where I definitely want to see where they lead up to in these future seasons. So for my scorecard, I'm gonna give Hazbin Hotel 4.5 stars, with the out of 10 score being 9.8 out of 10, with a percentage of 98%, with a grade of A+, with my final verdict being the best adult animated series. But that was my opinion on Hazbin Hotel Season 1. I want to hear from you guys. What did you think about this season overall? Be sure to leave that down in the comments section. While you're at it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. And have a great day.